Hey, everybody. I am Evie Zoboi, author of American Street, Pride, My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich, and I am the editor of Black Enough, Stories of Being Young and Black in America. And I am so grateful to Schomburg for inviting me to read excerpts of my books. And thank you for including Black Enough and My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich on your reading list. Wow, this is such an incredible time. This is an amazing time for change and reflection. I hope young people who are watching this are thinking about ways they want to speak up. And I hope that you are also thinking about ways that you want to just take a moment, take a breath, be quiet, sit down, go in and reflect and really observe and read and think about what it is that you want to say when you are ready to come out of yourself and go out into the world. So I'm saying that because it's a good time to speak up and it's a good time to sit in silence and reflect. I really don't believe that silence is always a bad thing. Silence can be a moment of reflection. And one of the ways that we can sit within ourselves and start to reflect and think about the world and our place in it is by reading. Reading is quiet inside your heart and soul and mind time. And now is the time. Now's the time to open up a book and read what it is that you don't know about yourself, about others, and the world. Start to understand on a deeper level and really do some deep self-reflection. I am all about that. So I do want to share an excerpt of Black Enough. So I invited 16 other wonderful young adult authors to write any type of story that they want. I had asked for different locations across America. And basically, this was just a safe space for them to create characters or write about characters that are free within themselves. And this was my way of saying that Black children are just that, children. They are navigating the world very much like other children of other races are navigating the world. And I wanted these authors to be free to humanize their characters. And this is exactly what they did. And in this collection, I'm going to name them, all of them. And hopefully when you read their stories, if you haven't already done so, you can seek out their other work. Justina Ireland, Varian Johnson, Rita Williams Garcia, Danielle Clayton, Kekla Magoon, Leah Henderson, Tochi Onyebuchi, Jason Reynolds, Nick Stone, Liara Tamani, Renee Watson, Tracy Batiste, Co Booth, Brandy Colbert, Jay Coles, myself, and Lamar Giles all contributed stories to this collection. June 19th is Juneteenth, which is Emancipation Day for people of African descent in this country. And there's a reason why I say people of African descent. I really, truly believe that it's very important for us to acknowledge the state and plight of people of African descent all over the country, all over the world. The struggles of people in this country are also the struggles of people in the Caribbean and in Europe and on the continent of Africa. And my work is trying to let readers know not to forget this. So I like to call myself a global African or a Pan-Africanist because if I were to leave the United States, I would still be a Black person in the world. And whatever country I enter, there is still some form of racism and oppression there because of global colonization. And that is our common fight, right? That is the common thread that we have all across the globe. And that's the spirit that I did this anthology. Because I am Haitian American and Haiti was the first free Black republic. I wanted to bring the Haiti's revolutionary spirit into this collection. And I can tell you more about that once I read the introduction, because all of that was in there. So let's get started. And after that, I'll share a little bit about My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich, which is set in Harlem, where Schomburg is. but in 1984. But for now, the introduction. I was born in a country known for having had the first successful slave revolt in the world. Way back in 1804, Haiti became the very first independent Black nation in the Western Hemisphere. If global Blackness had a rating scale of 1 to 10, the Haitian Revolution has got to be at level 10, being the most Blackest thing that ever happened in history. But none of that mattered when I first immigrated to the United States as a child. The Black and Latinx kids in my Brooklyn neighborhood didn't know and didn't care that my native country had once been a hub for freed slaves from America. According to them, I wasn't Black enough. I wore ribbons in my hair and fancy dresses to school, and I had a weird accent and a funny name. Most important, I didn't know how to jump double dutch or separate a sunflower seed from its shell with just my front teeth. That's a skill. And I was off key and offbeat when stomping, clapping, and singing to the latest cheers. Still am. These were all definitions of Brooklyn's summertime Black girlhood. By the time I started high school, I had mastered all of those things and could easily blend into New York's particular brand of teen Blackness, even while tucking away the quirky parts of myself, my love of sci-fi, disco music, and John Stamos. In college, my small Black world expanded when I met my first roommate, who had the thickest Southern accent I had ever heard. My best friend in high school was African American, and I'd been to her big family cookouts and even to visit her cousins in a small Black town in South Carolina. I'd been a little jealous that she had such a big family and at a moment's notice could be surrounded by a plethora of aunts, uncles, and cousins. This was my first glimpse into African American culture, one with deep roots in the South. But that new roommate of mine with a Southern accent was actually from Rochester, New York, and her family had lived there for as long as she could remember. Once I met new friends from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, and even England, my idea of Blackness began to expand. It was only then that I started to connect my own Brooklyn Blackness to a global idea of Blackness. After all, while the girls in my neighborhood teased me about not knowing how to spit out sunflower seeds, they didn't know how to properly eat a mango or know Creole or Patois or any of the Caribbean ring games. But before long, I knew there was a fine thread that connected all of these cultural traditions to each other. Blackness is indeed a social construct. Within the context of American racial politics, there can be no Black without white, no racism without race, but the prevalence of culture is undeniable. What are the cultural threads that connect Black people all over the globe to Africa? How have we tried to maintain certain traditions as part of our identity? And as teenagers, do we even care? These are the questions I had in mind when inviting 16 other Black authors to write about teens examining, rebelling against, embracing, and simply existing within their own idea of Blackness. Renee Watson's opening story, Half a Moon, places Black teen girls outdoors among trees and swimming in lakes. And yes, there is a common understanding that the hair situation is already handled. Jason Reynolds and Lamar Giles fully capture #BlackBoyJoy in their respective stories, the ingredients and Black nerd problems. There are no pervasive threats to their goofing around and being carefree. The intersectional lives of teens who are grappling with both racial and sexual identity are rendered with such great care and empathy in Justina Ireland's Kissing Sarah Smart, Kekla Magoon's Out of the Silence, and J. Cole's Wild Horses, Wild Hearts. From Leah Henderson's story of appropriation at a boarding school to Liara Tamani's story of inappropriate nude pick games at a church beach retreat, the teens in Black Enough are living out their lives much like their white counterparts. They are whole, complete, and nuanced. Like my revolutionary ancestors who wanted Haiti to be a safe space for Africans all over the globe, my hope is that Black Enough will encourage all Black teens to be their free, uninhibited selves without the constraints of being Black, too Black, or not Black enough. They will simply be enough just as they are. And I hope these stories do just that for you when you read them. And my debut middle grade is My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich. And I wrote this book for the very same reasons that I decided to create this collection, Black Enough. This girl is, quirky. She's different. She is offbeat. She marches to the beat of her own drum, and very much like myself when I was her age, 12 years old. And the kids in her neighborhood call her ice cream sandwich because she's chocolate on the outside but vanilla on the inside. And to them, her aspirations of being a space cadet or a space hero does not reflect their reality in Harlem. They're playing double dutch, they're breakdancing, they're making up rhymes and cheers when she wants to go pew pew on somebody's imaginary spaceship. But this was a fun book for me to write, and I wanted it to be complex and layered and confusing on purpose, because I believe that there's a child out there who is just like Ebony Grace, and that child was me. And I truly believe that when we write books, there is a child out there who will connect to your character no matter how strange or different he or she or they are. So these are my two of my books. And thank you so much to the Schomburg for inviting me to share them. And I hope you pick them up and read them and reflect and think about it and put it down and think about it some more and pick up some other books. Reading is just an incredible journey to finding yourself and your truth and understanding the world with new eyes. So that's about it. Thank you so much, and enjoy your day, your week, your month, your summer. And I know things will get so much better than they are right now. All right. Peace, everybody.